I'd like to share with you my automated student portfolio workflow using Evernote with my third grade classroom. I will be going over this information very quickly, not very in-depth on any particular item. It's just a very quick overview of my workflow and how this happens. I may save you some time just by showing you the things that I use to make this happen. If you don't have these things or cannot find an alternative, you may want to skip it altogether. Mac, I say sort of because it's a Hackintosh Dell. I do have an iMac and a bunch of Apple products, but I do not have a Mac notebook yet. A ScanSnap scanner. It is my baby. It is a dedicated document scanner. You could accomplish this with a flatbed scanner, or your copy machine at work may scan as well, but it is missing many of the features that a dedicated document scanner has, and you'll see those in just a bit. We'll be using Evernote, of course. Hazel is a $25 piece of software. Great automation tool. It will move files, rename files, do all kinds of stuff automatically without you touching a thing. PDF pen I will be using to OCR the documents. Automator is a lot like Hazel. It comes with the Apple OS, Apple scripts, blue-green highlighter. We'll use that for the scanner with some address labels. So let's start here with the scanner. Alright, so here's my setup here. Computer, scanner, my labels. I went ahead and made a label with each student's name and the subject that I might be keeping as a portfolio item in Evernote. I have positive, negative to show whether they did well or poorly. You'll see that it's highlighted. Some of those I printed pre-highlighted, and others I just printed black and white, and then I used the blue highlighter here, highlighted those items. If you want to save some ink, you could just print black and white, hit it with the highlighter. You could do it at school then. I know our school printers, none of them print in color. So anyway, the reason I do that is the ScanSnap will look at those and create keywords into the files. I was looking for the quickest way to make things happen, and I was going to use a text expander snippet where when the ScanSnap scans it, it gives it a weird file name, and I wanted to rename those as quickly as possible. So using the keywords, you'll see it can happen automatically, so I don't actually have to type anything. So I'll show you real quick. This one, here's one where the background is already created. It printed that way. I'll put it into the machine. Ooh, sorry. You gotta put it in kind of upside down backwards. It's supposed to take it the other way, but it just works best this way. So you scan it through. There it's thinking. Pops up, searching for marked sections. Should pop up in preview. There's my scan. And then if we open up the inspector, you can see there it found those keywords for us. And I can show you real quick. I can pull one off. Here's one that didn't already have them on there. Here, I'll use the ones that I highlighted myself. You gotta put them on kind of straight. Sorry, tough to do it one-handed. And then let's take another math. Positive. So I just stuck those on. Pop that in. So basically I've graded these papers. I have the stickers right beside me. It's going a little crooked. That'll be a good experiment. Real quick, I'll pop the stickers on, throw it into my ScanSnap, searching for those marked sections. So there you go. Those are the ones you can see. It's highlighted a little different. Still found those words. So let me show you how that helps me. Alright, so here we have that document that I just scanned in. You can see the keywords here. I'll get to those in just a minute. Next step actually is Evernote. Like I said, I teach third grade, so unfortunately I have to do a little bit more. If you had older students, they could quite possibly do a lot of this on their own. But as you'll see, I needed things to be just perfect, and third graders have a tough time doing things perfectly, especially on the computer. So I went ahead and created their accounts for them. I went into each one of their accounts and I set up folders and tags. I needed them to be spelled correctly because, as you know, Evernote gives you a personalized email address, and that's going to be my method of delivery. I'm going to send all of their stuff, all of their portfolio items to them via email. And you can address the email so that it gets sorted into folders and tagged automatically through the subject line of the email. So I had to have everything correct. Any mistakes and it won't do it properly. So I set up each one of these, and then I went ahead and shared each folder with my own personal account. That way when they move on to fourth grade, they keep their portfolio with them. I could have created everything on my end and shared it with them, but then they never actually have a copy of their stuff. Once it's unshared, I keep it and they don't get it. So everything will go to them and they share to me. Here is my personal account, and you can see this is his math folder that was shared with me. It has this 8 because I have 22 kids, so I have 22 folders shared with me just for math. So let's see how we get stuff into these Evernote accounts. Okay, so now we have things scanned in, Evernote's all set up. How do we get those files to Evernote? When I scan the last file onto my desktop, it normally wouldn't go to my desktop. I have an inbox here. It's called Student Work Scanned Inbox. And there are Hazel rules watching that folder. When a JPEG or PDF goes into that folder, the first thing that happens is it looks at those keywords and it renames the file according to the date, their name, and whatever subject it is. Then it sends it over to the folder here called OCR, and that calls up PDF-Pen to OCR the document. Then it's more searchable on my Mac. Now Evernote does its own OCR, but I like to have it available on my Mac as well. Now the ScanSnap will do that on its own, but I feel it is much more time efficient to scan everything and then OCR at a different time. Hazel can even wait, until a set time and do it when you're not around, so it doesn't keep your computer busy. But so that OCRs it separately. Then it moves it over to a folder, it's not on here, where it's going to be sorted from. And there is a Hazel rule that will move a copy of that document here to a folder called Archive, which will have a backup copy just for me. It will put the file into this folder here called Hold for Parent Email, and then another Hazel rule will look for a particular name, and it will call up an Automator workflow and email that document to a parent. So parents will see all of their portfolios in their email, given they've supplied me with an email address. It will also put a copy into this folder here called Print a Copy. And what that will do is hold it until a specific time, and it will actually send any document from this folder down to my copy machine. I do a secure print, so it will hold the document until I type in a little code, and then they'll all spit out. And I might do away with this because I am trying to go paperless, but for now it's nice to have that paper backup if I want to keep data folders in the classroom. Then it sends another copy to this one called Send to Evernote Folders, and I have a ton of Hazel rules here that are just looking for names and subjects, and it's moving them to even more nested individual folders. So here are all of Alex's folders, and for this example it's going to finally put it into this folder called Alex Math Positive. So far Hazel has moved this file all over the place, made a couple Automator workflows go, until it ultimately ends up here. And once again, Hazel will be looking for any file that lands in this folder, it will create an email. It will address the email using their private Evernote account email address, and then it will send it, and it will land in their Evernote account. It will go into the proper folder. It will have the tags attached to it, and it will be all set up. So all of this happens just by me hitting that scan button. I don't touch another thing on the computer. And I'm going to stop things, get it set up again, and I'll make it all happen for you in just a second. Okay, so I have a paper in the scanner. I got rid of one of the little windows there. So you're going to see the document move around in here, I hope. I also opened up a little space over here. You should see the PDF pen open up and do the OCR bit. So fingers crossed, let's see if we can make all of this happen. So I just hit the button on the scan snap. It's scanning through the document I had earlier. I have it switched so that it'll go to this inbox up here in the corner. So there it is. It's going to get renamed. Oh, it's scanning for those marked sections. It found them. It should rename them here in a second. Oh, there it goes. It went to the OCR folder now. It's right here. So it should be opening up PDF pen. Now remember, I'm not touching anything. This is happening all automatically. So I'm sitting at my desk continuing to grade papers here. So it opened it up. Of course, it's that nonsense paper. There's not much to OCR here. But it's working. And it should click out of here once it's finished. There it goes. And then oh, there it goes. It's moving on. So I should get copies in other places here. There it is in my archive. It's popping up all over. So far, things are looking good. So it's in my folder here as a backup. It's here waiting to be emailed to my parents. Now, I disabled this for this example because I don't want Alex's parents to get an email of a blank spelling paper. Here it's waiting for a specified time to be printed. And here, the email just came up and got sent off to his Evernote. And then it disappears. And you heard it go. It just got sent. So I'm going to give that a second, and we'll pull up the Evernote account. We'll sync it and see if it's there. But again, I didn't touch anything. I hit scan, and all this magic happened. The hardest thing may be trusting it. You hit it, and you're like, oh, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? But, you know, once you got it going, it just works. And it always has. I'm refreshing the page here. Let's see if it's landed into the math folder and if it has tags attached to it. Ah, there we go. Math positive 49 seconds ago. 54 seconds ago. So it should be that page. Yep, and I could hit it to download it here. There it is. Let's check and see if it has its tags. Here you can see it's in the math notebook, math positive. Let's see, show details. And there are his tags. Math portfolio positive, his name. Now, let's pull up my personal account. That's his folder. Let's hit the sync button. Let's see if he pops in here for us. And if he does, it's going to be a success. I can tell you right now that this has taken forever. It has been the biggest project I think I have ever tackled. Oh, there it is. So it's showing up in my account, and now if I want to share this with parents, I have it myself. If he wants to share it with parents, he has it himself. I use this to collect data for intervention, anything. I really look forward to using this. I think it's a quick way now. It's one of those things that took forever to set up, but I think it's going to be very, very useful. So, thanks for watching.